Well, welcome back to Open Line, talking about the marijuana ordinance making its way, or that is certainly before the Metro Council right now. We have the sponsor and other supporters of the bill up here on our panel, and let's just go back to the phones. Let's go to Nicholas. Hello, Nicholas.
Good, how you doing today?
Great, go right ahead.
I just was concerned, and I thought this was one nation under God. Why is one state legalizing, not the rest of the states? Why is letting 3 states capitalize on it and not letting other states have the chance to capitalize on it?
Capitalize on what? You mean why is one state legalizing it when others aren't?
Yeah, and then being in control, capitalizing on the matter, but not letting other states capitalize on it. But for one.
All right, well, let's talk about the number of states that are going to be. I know Colorado has legalized marijuana.
Colorado, Washington, and Oregon, and Alaska.
So there are 4 right now.
Mm-hmm. And the District of Columbia, but they haven't implemented an actual recreational market yet. It's legalized there, but they don't have a marketplace yet.
And how many states will make a determination in November?
At least 5 have some form of legalization on the ballot in November.
That would cover the entire state?
It would cover the entire state. Massachusetts, Nevada, Maine, and I can't remember all 5 of them at the moment.
So the data from Colorado. I mean, I've heard very positive data. I've heard negative data. People can take data and do whatever they want with it. What would you say the data is from California or from Colorado?
California is one of the ones that is going to vote on legalization, and that's a big one. California actually has a larger GDP than most nations. So if California goes, it's going to be really difficult for the federal government to continue to maintain a position on prohibition.
But Colorado has been much.
Colorado has generated an enormous amount of revenue from cannabis legalization, and it's going towards public schools, and they've generated so much revenue from it that they're putting some of these funds towards dealing with homeless outreach and homelessness in the state of Colorado. So as far as the issue of capitalizing on it, this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry going forward. So I can see what he's saying. These are tax dollars that are not being captured in the state of Tennessee. It's an enormous source of revenue, a potential source of revenue for the state, and that's where state lawmakers need to be addressed. People need to urge their state lawmakers to get on board with reforming these outdated cannabis laws.
Now, the concern that some might have there is you could make lots of money legalizing all kinds of drugs, and is that the right argument?
Well, you don't have the kind of data on other drugs like you do with cannabis. As far as safety, you don't have any recorded deaths in the history of the world for cannabis. No one has ever died from cannabis. People have actually died from consuming too much water, but no one has ever died from cannabis. So as far as its safety, it's significantly more safe than most other illegal drugs. It's significantly safer than most pharmaceuticals. It's safer than the wine we sell in grocery stores. So you don't have this kind of safety as far as other drugs like you do, and you don't have the knowledge. I mean, people have used cannabis for thousands of years, and we used it medicinally before they began prohibition. So we're just asking that we can recapture those rights to use this beneficial plant.
Okay, all right, let's go to Reverend Fuzz. Reverend Fuzz, hello.
Hey, I'm here.
Hi, go right ahead.
Okay, I got a couple questions real quick. Want to kind of understand why in the first place was this cannabis made a crime? What brought that about? And then second question is this: I know lots of people who've been put in jail or had to pay fines or in jail, violated probation because they didn't pass a drug screen from marijuana. Are there any legal problems with that dating back? People who've been prosecuted for having it, now we're going to say it's okay and that our laws were wrong. Would they have any standing to have some kind of reparation or repair from the time that they had to go to jail or violated probation, those kind of things.
All right, great questions. Thank you. What about the second part there?
This law only addresses issues going forward, so even though it's been going on back since 1937, all this is going to do is go from here forward.
So if somebody had been convicted of something like this 2 years ago, that is not going to help.
That's a state
Keep
issue.
in mind that we're providing an alternative here. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I think his question dealt with almost legalization of this drug, which was not what this bill's going to do. He's in a broader conversation, and I don't know that Dave nor I are in a position to comment on any reparations, because that would go before somebody other than us, prosecutors, judges, and other lawyers. There may be, but I don't know that either one of us can answer that question.
Well, Canada is moving towards legalization, and Justin Trudeau, their prime minister, has come out and said that they're going to go about a process of expunging records for everyone that has some form of conviction for cannabis-related convictions, and they're moving forward in states that are legalizing to do that as well. That's definitely the second part of this issue. Once we move towards decriminalization and potentially legalization, those social justice issues where people have these criminal records around their neck that are impeding them from having successful employment or financial aid for school, that there needs to be a remedy for that.
And the president and the governor do have that authority, so they can, and it can trickle up or down to them and from them, but they've got the authority to do all that stuff.
And his first question was, why did it get included among those drugs that are illegal? If based on all the things you said before, why is it included?
It goes back. Historically, when alcohol prohibition was ending, Harry Anslinger was the DEA at the time, and he was looking to maintain those budgets. And cannabis was becoming a bigger issue because Mexican immigrants were coming in and using it. They were using it medicinally. They were using it recreationally. And he saw an opportunity there to maintain his budgets, and so he started to go after cannabis. And he began. That's how cannabis prohibition began in the United States.
And that's when the
it was essentially a means to maintain the DEA's budget.
Oh wow. Okay. And did you want to add?
And that's when the term marijuana came to be instead of cannabis, is kind of taking advantage of that fear over Mexican
they
immigration.
changed it from cannabis
All right,
to marijuana.
we have a bunch of calls now, so let's go to Brian. Hello, Brian.
What'd you do to stir them up?
Go right ahead.
I think this is a great opportunity for the mayor to grant amnesty for all the pot smokers in Nashville. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be funny, but all about the country singers and everybody who lives in Nashville.
I don't know that the mayor has that authority.
What do you think?
We're not legalizing anything, and I don't know if the mayor has that authority, but I'm not a lawyer, so I'll...
Don. Hello, Don.
Hi, yes, I'd like to ask you, and I'd like to just say one thing. Pot is God-given, okay, and everything else that's get people in trouble and all that is stepped up, and it's either cooked or put together by a big pharmacy and stuff like that. But pot is God-given, and 4 ounces is real small. It's like just enough to roll up a cigarette paper. And a lot of good things for. I'm not going to talk about legalization. I just want to ask, if I get popped with a joint and the cop give me a $50 ticket, is he going to let me keep the joint? Because some people use it for medicinal reasons, and also I'm a musician and it helps us creativity. Play real good songs.
I hadn't heard that question before.
That's a really good question.
I'm going to say no. But you're the author of the bill. What do you think?
It's still illegal under state law, and I feel pretty confident that officers are going to confiscate it.
That's very funny. All right, we have to take a break. We'll come back. I promise we're going to get to your call. Hold on there. Take a break. Be back right after this.